is Megan from Streams Community Hub. Join me for a Cozy Knit Minute where I'll be showing you how to do a hand knit personal size blanket. So let's get started. The very first thing you're gonna have to grab is your materials. Your hands, it's all you need. No needles are needed for this activity. Scissors, and we're gonna use Bernat Blanket Big Yarn. You can get the material at Michael's. It's a size 7 thickness, which is about an inch thick of yarn. This is what it looks like. And we're going to get started. We're gonna make a personal size medium blanket. It's roughly 5 by 3 feet. It's perfect size to cover a full body. I'm roughly 5'2", and it covers you perfectly. And you'll notice when you make it, it's naturally gonna have two designs. One side is gonna have a braid, and the other side is gonna have kind of like a fish scale. Your very first step is to ensure that you have at least 1.5 feet. How I like to measure is using my forearm. So it's about 1 foot and a bit. We're gonna go ahead and put this behind you, and we're gonna start by doing what I like to call is a slip knot or a little loop knot. So you're gonna take your fingers and you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna pull underneath. Feel free to practice as many times as you need. Just simply pause the video and recap it when you're ready. Now, from this point, you're going to make sure that your 1.5 feet extra yarn is to your left-hand side, and you're gonna work from left to right, right to left. The working yarn is always gonna be on your right-hand side. So you're gonna make sure that you have your loop facing upwards, just to make it a little bit easier for you to catch the yarn underneath. And you're gonna simply just pull up from under and keep going that way. The trick is to try to make sure that the loops are roughly about the same size. How I like to measure that I use 2 fingers, and for me that tells me that's about 1.5 inches in width for each loop. And you're gonna do this for 26 stitches. What might also be super easy is unraveling the working yarn that you're working with so that it doesn't kind of hold you back when you're going. And on your 27th stitch, it's gonna face vertical. And now you're just gonna go the opposite direction now. Make sure you have enough yarn so you can keep it working. You're gonna face it this way. And now you're just going to go ahead and look underneath the first chain and pull under your working yarn. So this is the 1 chain, 2 chain, 3 chain, pull underneath, and just simply pull up so it's vertical along with the rest. Pull from under and up, under and up. You're gonna keep doing this for the entire length of the blanket. Again, don't forget, you could always pause this video while you're learning so that you can pick up the first, second, and third step. Seems like I've wasted through my first ball of yarn. How do you attach a new ball, you might ask? Well, I'm here to show you. So this is what you'll probably be left with after 26 stitches. You could even use this as an opportunity to switch colors and create a stripe if you'd like, or carry on with the same color so that you have a solid colored blanket. You're gonna grab your second skein of yarn, or ball of yarn, in other words. You're gonna take your one end and take your working yarn. So I'm just gonna flip this a little bit this way. And all you're going to do is you're gonna tie a knot, maybe once or twice, just to make sure that it's secure. So you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna cross it, pull one over, under, and do it again. Cross it, over, under, and pull. Make sure you're pulling all 4 ends, 1, 2, 3, 4, just to make sure that it's nice and tight. I feel like there's a little bit of give, so I'm gonna go ahead and do another knot. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it. Make sure it's nice and secure. And you can tell that even after your blanket's finished and you pull and tug like we all do after a cozy day with watching our favorite movie on Netflix or Disney Plus, this is not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna break. You see these extra strands? We don't want them. Let's cut them. I'm gonna go and snip that and that one. Get rid of the excess. You're gonna go ahead and pull. You'll see that it kind of looks like a little knot or ball. That's normal, all part of the process. It's a handmade blanket. But if you want to clean it up a little bit, just gently snip the edges so that it becomes a little bit more flush with your second skein of yarn. And now we're just going to continue on. Your one line of yarn or your one row, you're going to carry from underneath, put your fingers through, lift from under and pull up. Lift from under and pull up. So essentially, you're using your fingers as the needles. So now we're at the end of our blanket. We've gone through 6 kinds of yarn, and we're going to teach you how to actually finish the blanket with a finishing row. So you use your working yarn. You're going to pull up like you do with every other row that we've been showing you, but now you're going to twist it using your 2 fingers, and you're going to grab the adjacent right beside it. So now you have 2 loops on your finger, and you're going to pull the working yarn through. So you're essentially taking 2 stitches and pulling the yarn through it. And now you're going to carry through. So again, I have my 1 stitch, pulling the adjacent stitch through, working yarn, grabbing it with my fingers and pulling it right through. You're going to grab those handy dandy little scissors that we kind of hid away for a majority of the blanket making. And you're going to just make a little bit of longer of a loop. You're going to cut. And what I like to do is I like to take this working yarn, put it through that large hoop, and simply pull. And then you can use the excess to just weave it right back through into the blanket, over and under, so that it hides it away. And that concludes our Cozy Knit Minute. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're interested in learning more on how to do more blankets or any other arts and crafts, follow us on streams.